Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Viewer Battling. It is currently episode 3, and you know what? I don't want to stall, let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with the Bengal regime, which will first form an alliance with Indonesia. Pretty good thing. But now they're at war with Myanmar, so they're going to be able to take some territory in this time, but the war will be an ongoing one for the next few episodes, and Indonesia is allowed to join, but they don't have to. It's not a full military alliance yet. But, Bengal did get some pretty decent land from Myanmar, also known as Burma, but we're gonna call it Burma, I guess. Now, the alliance proposal will get sent out to Japan, the Levant, and even Mexico, as they want a global alliance where anybody who wants to expand a little bit is welcome to join. And Bengal's last duty for this episode, their last decision is going to be to continue exports of rice all over the place, and they also want China to have a bit better access to their ports. With some, it will cost them a little bit of money to use the port, but cheaper than it would have been otherwise. So, good job, Bengal, I guess. I'm not sure if you should be expanding this rapidly. And next we have the Levant. The Levant will successfully be able to unify diplomatically the old lands that made up Israel and Palestine, which are now unified under one state that is very clearly pro-Jew and pro-Muslim. So everybody should be getting along here. I don't see many problems with this, so a pretty good unification was just made. And for the rest of the Levant's moves, they want people to start investing in the military. Or not in the military, but in different sectors of the economy, which I think would go decently, as the currency would go pretty much back to how it was at the start of the series, and is looking to go a bit upwards more. And it could potentially rise up in the next few decades and become the best currency in the world. But this would have to rely that they don't join any future wars, which could have restrictions on their economy. So keep a close watch, and for the military action, they're going to actually start defunding the military, or just lowering the funding, because they claim that they have no more enemies. I guess makes reasonable sense, but the Arab countries still don't fully trust them. Whatever they want to do, I guess if the Arab countries attack first, they're the aggressors, so I don't think they'll be attacking the Levant anytime soon. And now I'm going to go over to Indonesia. And Indonesia wants to do stuff with Malaysia. They want to form a federation over here in Southeast Asia, which I feel like is a pretty reasonable thing to do, but they're going to have to send more diplomats than they're currently doing to make that happen. They are sending quite a bit of diplomats over to Malaysia. That's just a fact now. They want to also spice exports, all their exports. They want to get a better economy. They want more money. So they're going to make more exports, do more economic, valuable things. And as Indonesia's last action is going to be confusing for some. They want to use their spice money to fund Jakarta with climate change protection. Now, in theory, this is a great thing. But in practice, will it be a good thing? I'd say it would have at least decent success in the short time. In the long term, I'm not sure how much that would do. I'm not a climate change expert, but I'll say it goes decently in the short term. And some good news, we always have more joiners each episode. We have Great Britain and Northern Ireland being taken in their military action is to go to Nigel Farage, I don't even know how to pronounce the man's name, but they go to his door and then they just assassinate him. Cool choice, I guess. I don't know that much. So, they're also going to increase funding to school and hospitals, which is a pretty good thing to do. This will make people smarter, which is a good thing. And hospitals also need more funding, as currently in the world, doctors are being underfunded, which is not a good thing, It will make them go to different countries, which means you have less doctors overall. So, more funding on the hospitals is a great thing to have. And next, we are going to head over to Mexico. And Mexico is going to be focusing on some very internal things. They're going to be doing a little bit of militarizing, making a military culture in the country. They don't want to deal with the cartels. They want the cartels out of the way. pretty reasonable. They don't want the drug trade to spread, although it could help with their economy if they did negotiate with the cartel. But the cartel's also very bad and ruthless. They'll kill anyone who they want to. So, with all reasoning, they should be doing a military culture here. I don't think I can have that much of an argument with this. Their next action is to reform their country's tax system to improve economic efficiency, equity, and transparency. They would also like to develop the development of its tourist industry to be in Baja California. Ugh. Apparently, I don't know how to speak today. I woke up not that long ago. Anyways, they want to create new jobs and stuff like that. Their last thing is to have a better relationship with America, because, they don't want to be demolished. And they're going to acknowledge that they are going to be in an alliance with Bangladesh. Now, they did make an attempt to support Quebec to separate from Canada, but that's not happening. They already did their turn there, so they can't do that. They're not gonna be doing that. No, you're not doing that, Mexico. You hear me? You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Now you know. And now we head over to Japan, which is probably the most reasonable country in the series so far. For their economic thing, they want to open up trade between Japan, Indonesia, and Mexico. In the light of the economic crisis and a need for a drastic economic change in order to ensure the success of the newly imposed communist laws, removing competition from firms entirely and now they're going to change the workers' pay. So, yeah, they want to upgrade their currency and stuff like that. They want to work internally instead of expanding, which is a great way to think. If you expand, you could stretch it out too far, more rebellions than you know what to deal with. For the diplomatic thing, they will meet up with the presidents of Indonesia and establish an alliance between both countries. After meeting with the Bengalese diplomats offering an alliance, Japan will turn that offer down, choosing to maintain their outward appearance as pacifists, despite stockpiling nuclear weapons. By not allying with any current expansionist countries, new trade routes and offers between Indonesia and Mexico will begin, exporting electronics, petroleum, and motor vehicles to both countries in exchange for other things. For military, they're going to send military ships to Burma's southern coast, offering to take in refugees, and declaring any Burmese civilians who flee to Japan automatic citizens of Japan. Japan will neither sponsor or denounce Bengal or Myanmar, but any attempts to interfere with the escortation of the Burmese refugees will be responded to with haste aggression. Publicly, the Japanese Democratic Republic will continue to claim pacifism in all international affairs. We will now head over to Germany, where they would like to do more trading with countries and start advertising to join the military. And that is strictly not conscription. They join if they want to join. They just want to boost up the troop numbers, so they're going to do a huge propaganda raid. And they're also going to change their flag to something you will see on screen. Now, other countries did change their flags. I'll put them on screen now, just so you know. And that's going to be it for Germany. And someone has forgot that Czechia exists. Their plans is to boost the industry a little bit because Germany annexed some of the very important industrial territories, so they need to invest into industrialization, especially in the southern part of the country. They will also start to deal problem with drugs and alcohol in the country, and they will enforce stricter laws over it and start a nationwide anti-drug and anti-alcohol campaign. On the diplomatic field, they will make closer diplomatic ties with Slovakia, which were weakened after last Slovak parliamentary election, planning future reuniting and the recreation of Czechoslovakia. They'll also start diplomatic talks with Romania and Serbia to recreate the Little Entente in the future. They will also try to improve relations with Germany and will support the Russian opposition and separatist movements. They want to weaken Russia a little bit, and then they will lastly invest a little bit more in the military. And lastly, we have Colombia, who recently got assassinated by the CIA, and their country was split up between the Americans, the new Central American Union state, and Ecuador and Peru. with each of them trying to gain more land for their own gain. This is a shocking world news story, and more countries should be taking notice in the future that the CIA does not like expansionist countries, especially if they deal with drug mass, So, a lesson to all expansionist countries currently at the moment: you shouldn't mess with the American. Anyways, that is it for this episode. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. If you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And if you aren't in the Discord already and you're not in the series, why not join? The link is in the description. I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye.